M***KSH is an American media franchise consisting of a series of novels, a film, several television series, plays, and other properties, owned by 20th Century Fox and based on the semi-autobiographic fiction of Richard Hooker. The franchise depicts a group of fictional characters who served at the fictional 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital during the Korean War. Some events of the series are loosely based on the historic 8055th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. Hawkeye Pierce is featured as the main character, played by Donald Sutherland in the film and by Alan Alda on television. Later spin-offs involve characters who appeared in the series but were set after the end of the war. Almost all versions of the series fit into the genre of black comedy or dramedy. The lead characters were doctors or nurses, and the practice of medicine was at the center of events. However, to relieve the pressures of duty in a field hospital close to the front and the attendant horrors of war, the staff engage in humorous hijinks, frivolity and petty rivalries off duty. The franchise effectively ended with the conclusion of Trapper John, M.D., on September 4, 1986. A large fan base for the series exists, and 20th Century Fox has had notable success selling the film and seasons of the TV series on DVD. Novels. Richard Hooker wrote MASH, a novel about three army doctors, based on his experiences as a surgeon at the 8055th MASH in South Korea. He published several other novels based on that group. A total of 15 M***KSH novels were published between 1968 and 1977, some co-authored by William E. Butterworth. Film. MASH was a 1970 feature film adaptation of the original novel. The film was directed by Robert Altman and starred Donald Sutherland as Hawkeye Pierce and Elliot Gould as Trapper John McIntyre. Although the title had no punctuation on screen, in posters for the movie it was rendered as M***KSH. Television. M***KSH, a spin-off of the novel, ran from 1972 to 1983, more than 3 times as long as the war it chronicled. It starred Alan Alda as Hawkeye Pierce and Wayne Rogers as Trapper John McIntyre. After the 3rd season, Rogers left the show and was replaced by Mike Farrell as B.J. Hunnicutt. Another change was the addition of Harry Morgan as Colonel Sherman T. Potter, a veteran character actor and former Universal contract player, who replaced McLean Stevenson the same year. This series is the most popular and well-known version of the franchise and was ranked number 25 in TV Guide's TV Guide's 50 Greatest TV Shows of All Time. Its final episode in 1983 was the most watched in television history. Trapper John, M.D., featured the character of Trapper John McIntyre, played by Pernell Roberts. 28 years after the events of the M***KSH film and television series, it was the first spin-off to feature a character from the series in civilian life after the war. Legally, Trapper John, M.D., is a spin-off of the MASH film rather than the television series due to licensing issues. The pilot episode briefly shows a photograph of Rogers and Alda. After MASH was a successor to the original M***KSH television series, featuring Harry Morgan, Jamie Farr and William Christopher after the war, as the same characters they played in the original television series. Gary Berghoff and Edward Winter also appeared as guests. The series was cancelled after 2 seasons. W***KLTER was the pilot for a television series that was not picked up. It would have featured Gary Berghoff reprising the role of Walter O'Reilly. The pilot was shown as a CBS special presentation on July 17, 1984. For details of the TV series, see M***KSH. Plays. In 1973, a play by Tim Kelly, based on the book, television show and movie, was published in both one-act and full versions. The play incorporates many of the characters but omits more of the dark comedy aspects. It is occasionally produced by community theatre and high school theatre companies. M***KSH elsewhere. The crew from the M***KSH series appeared in advertising for IBM products, such as the PS2 line that introduced the PS2 connector for keyboards and mice. Fox developed a M***KSH video game. Players alternate between controlling a helicopter picking up wounded soldiers from the front and a surgeon removing shrapnel from a soldier, similar to Microsurgeon. InfoWorld called M***KSH the exception. Among the T-99 Cortez A's generally poor game library. List of characters.